Hello everyone and welcome. In this video I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on The Well Beyond Season 2 Episode 8 and Episode 9. As is the norm with all my videos, I won't be holding back on any spoilers, so please do keep that in mind. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin. Episode 8, the protagonist's plan to leave the CR really kicks into gear, and we get this scene at the start of the episode in which Dr. Bennett is talking to other scientists and he's telling them the true nature of the Civic Republic and telling them about all the horrible experiments that they've been carrying out. And despite me liking these two episodes, I do still have some complaints with them, and I didn't really like this scene because I felt it was a bit kind of brazen and a bit careless of him to be like, hey everyone, the CR are really evil. And I was just kind of like, you need to be a bit more cautious, man, because what if one of these people is like a secret CR spy? What if these people are like supreme CR loyalists and, you know, they're going to report him to Jadis for saying this kind of stuff? I don't know, I just felt he could have been a bit more kind of subtle about it. Like, I know that Hope and Iris wanted to get all the scientists out and want to get them out so they can carry on their research outside the facility, but yeah, I just thought this was a bit silly, this scene at the start of the episode. Anyway, Jadis, the clever cookie that she is, she already knows that Dr. Bennett is trying to escape with the rest of the scientists, and she knows that, yeah, there's some people rebelling, and she knows that there's something not quite right at the CR. So Jadis decides to do an evacuation test and try to get everyone to meet outside the building, and her thinking behind this is that she believes that those who are rebelling against her and rebelling against the CR, they won't go outside, they won't comply. Instead, they will use that time, you know, they'll use the time in which everyone is out of the building to try and further their escape and, you know, further whatever it is they're doing. So all she would have to do then is just go through the register, find the people who aren't outside, and they'll be the ones that they need to find. I know I've been constantly singing Jadis's praises since she's been on the show, but I love how resourceful and I love how clever she is on this show. And I just wish she was in the show since season 1, because she's a far better antagonist than Elizabeth is. I don't really care about Elizabeth, but every time Jadis is on screen, you know, it gets me excited. Not in a weird sexual way, but, you know, it gets me excited. I'm interested in what's going on. I like watching it. With the evacuation taking place, the rest of the Civic Republic facility is placed into full lockdown, and basically Jadis does this because this will then give her people time to flush out the people who are still in there and time to catch them. And the protagonists, they get stuck in like this lab, and this metal shutter goes down, or I think they said it's titanium, so it's basically impossible to break through. And I think CR Soldiers says that they won't be able to open this for 2 hours until the power restarts. So that gives the protagonist time to dig their way out, because they have a map to like some tunnels underneath the facility, and that's how they escape. Also, this dickhead from the perimeter, he goes to the CR and he basically drops all his people in the shit. He tells Jadis that they knew what was going on with Hope and Iris and all that lot. They're working with them. They're working with Dr. Bennett. Yeah, and he basically sells out his entire community. And then he also tries to blackmail Huck when Jadis is out of the room. He says to Huck, you know, I'll tell Jadis about your true nature unless you give me a place to stay at the Civic Republic. But Huck doesn't take any of his shit, and she shoots him in the head and kills him. Jadis then returns, and then Huck feeds her some bullshit story like, oh, this guy was bad-mouthing the Civic Republic or something like that. And to be honest, I do think Jadis believes her a bit too easily. You know, I think she should have realised by now that there's something quite wrong with Huck. You know, she's always questioning you. It seems like she's up to something, but I don't know, maybe Jadis would just never have thought that Huck would be someone capable of doing this. I don't know, but you think as someone who deals with threats and who works in fraud and that kind of stuff, I mean, just because someone is in that job with you doesn't mean they're never going to do something bad, you know, they're never going to turn against you. So yeah, I don't know, I didn't like how Jadis just kind of accepted Huck's lame explanation, in my opinion. Meanwhile, the perimeter is then invaded by the CR. They all turn up and they line the protagonists up and they're all about to shoot them, but Silas, Dennis and Will, I think his name is, yep, that's Will, they all come and save the day and take down the Civic Republic, and everyone's safe. And yeah, I don't know, I think this is one thing that still bugs me about this show, is that the Civic Republic are a bit lame, like especially their soldiers. They're like stormtroopers. They're absolutely shit. I mean, they have these, you know, these machine guns, this armor, yet in this episode they're taken down by 3 people with a pistol. And I don't even know if Silas, prior to this point, has he ever even fired a gun? But these 3 people with a pistol are enough to overpower these supposedly trained soldiers, which is a bit silly. Anyway, the episode ends with the Civic Republic finally making their way into that lab where Iris and Hope are, and it sets off like this trap bomb that they've made, and that's the end of the episode. And all in all, episode 8 was decent. It was okay, not bad. Moving on to episode 9. It looks like the old Wii U gamepads were put to good use in this episode. All the characters seem to have one. I swear I'm like one of the only people who actually owned a Wii U. Why the hell did I buy a Wii U? Oh yeah, because it had Bayonetta 2 on it. But anyway, I'm going incredibly off topic now. Why does Felix always look pissed off all the time? I mean, the characters are just standing around here, but he looks like he wants to punch someone. This guy's always angry. Anyway, let's just talk about this episode instead of me rambling about it. The episode begins with the protagonist setting off bombs which they've attached to walkers, and they've attached these bombs to the walkers which are under the tunnels, and they set them all off, and they'll use that to stop the CL soldiers who are hunting them down. Hope and Felix go to the bio lab, the same lab that Felix went to a couple of episodes ago when he stole the vial, and whilst they're in there, Felix has to fight these walkers who have now been defrosted, but their skulls haven't been defrosted enough for him to put the knife through their heads, which I think is a nice little touch. You know, it's different. I like that. I like that they had to deal with walkers who can't be killed the traditional way. You know, you can't just put a knife through them. I mean, we normally on The Walking Dead, I think, you know, we see characters killing walkers like by putting a pen through them. Normally, like, their skulls are like mashed potato. Normally, it's so easy to kill some. So I did like this. It was something different. And the reason they're there is because they want to find the bioweapon, you know, the big units of it that were in there a couple of episodes ago. But these have all been moved. And yeah, so they can't now use them to their advantage to take out the Civic Republic. Also, I'm amazed that Huck is able to say the word fuck in this scene, because we know how kind of strict the Walking Dead universe is when it comes to swearing, so yeah, that took me by surprise. Silas and Elton go to the Civic Republic Research Center, I think to get antibiotics for Dennis, Huck's husband, and they get surrounded by walkers, and they then escape in something that wouldn't seem out of place on Fear the Walking Dead. They escape by getting in this globe, like this art structure of a globe, and they get in it and they escape by running around in it like a hamster ball, crushing walkers like they're playing Super Monkey Ball. Actually, if we are to compare this to a video game series, it's more like the Dead Rising series. I'm pretty sure in Dead Rising 2 you can get in one of these balls and run around and kill zombies in it. I don't know, it's been a long time since I played it. It's dumb, there's no denying it's dumb, but it didn't annoy me as much as some of the stupid stuff in Fear the Walking Dead, because I don't mind, you know, goofy stuff in otherwise serious shows or shows that try to have serious tones and serious stories if you use them sparingly, if you do it sparingly. And aside from some dumb stuff in the first couple of episodes of this season, The World Beyond hasn't been stupid this season. You know, it hasn't had stupid moments like this, so I can overlook it, whereas in Fear the Walking Dead, it's like every single episode is just flat out stupid. So yeah, I don't know, it's stupid, but I can kind of overlook it for the most part. You know, I wasn't a fan of it, but it doesn't, you know, ruin my view of this episode. It doesn't make me instantly hate the episode because of it. It was only like a couple of minute sequence anyway, and I kind of think it's fitting that Elton is the one to go in this ball and do this with Silas, because Elton is pretty much the comic relief character this season. He's the one who has the idea to do it, and you know, like it or not, that's the role he's been given, so I think it does suit his character. I mean, prior to this scene, he knocks out a guy who's threatening Silas, knocks him over the head and KOs him, and he's like, oh, who was that guy? You know, that's his job this season. He's been given the comic relief role. Like I said, you might not like it, but at least that's something consistent with his character this season. So yeah, I thought it was stupid, but I didn't hate it. Anyway, although I didn't completely hate that scene, I have to admit by this point in the episode, I was getting a bit concerned by how upbeat everything was and how easily our characters had just overpowered the Civic Republic and got what they wanted. You know, I was wanting more death. I was wanting more chaos. Well, they say be careful what you wish for, because not long after, Percy is shot dead when Felix and Jadis have a standoff, and the protagonist and Jadis have a standoff, and yeah, Percy's dead. Or at least I think he's dead, because we see him lying on the ground with blood pouring out the back of his neck, and we don't really get a good look at him, so maybe there's potential that he's still alive? I don't know. I'm guessing he probably is dead, but yeah, I mean, if he is, that's a big loss, because I liked Percy. He was one of the best characters on the show. Something that I didn't like is that I didn't really enjoy Jadis' speech to Felix when the two are kind of at a standstill. I mean, I think Jadis, most of her dialogue this season has been really good, but yeah, I just didn't like the whole, you know, what she said was like, oh, we realised that the campus colony was going to be a drain on our resources, so we decided just to kill everyone because it was the best thing to do, and then we saved 10,000 kids so we can just start over. And I don't know if that was 10,000 kids from the campus colony or 10,000 kids in total that the CRM saved, or well, stole from their homes, but it just kind of made me think of Thanos, you know, the whole too many people, not enough resources thing. I don't know, I just thought it was a bit cliche. I didn't really like that angle to it. A firefight then ensues between Jadis' group and Felix's group, and basically Huck shows her true colours. She shoots Jadis' men, And now Jadis knows, she knows that she's on the side of Felix and on the side of the protagonist, but Jadis is allowed to escape, and Huck escapes, and come the end of the episode, basically all the characters have left the Civic Republic, and it looks like the final episode is going to be a massive showdown between these two groups. I haven't watched the final episode yet. I mean, it's Saturday now. I think it will be out at the time of filming, or is it on Sunday it comes out on AMC Plus? I don't know, but I'm hoping that the final episode is just chaos. I just want to see loads of people die, because I don't know if The Walking Dead has any future plans with these characters or not. I can't personally see them being in other shows. I don't know. But if it doesn't, just kill them all, or kill most of them. Just give us a mad finale, a chaotic finale that we'll all remember. But that's what I'm hoping for anyway. But yeah, this episode was okay. I thought episode 8 was better. I think it did have its problems, episode 9. But again, I didn't hate it. It was alright. I don't think these 2 episodes were the best episodes of the season. I think the ones that came before it, 6 and 7 especially, were better, but it was alright. I didn't mind it, I'm okay with The World Beyond this season. I think it's alright. It's not, award-winning TV. It's not the best thing ever. It still, I don't think, compares to the best seasons of The Walking Dead, or even Fear the Walking Dead before Morgan came over, but it's a perfectly serviceable show. It's alright. I don't mind it. I think it's okay. And I'm looking forward to the finale, especially as I've seen, rumours on Reddit that there's potentially like a Rick Grimes cameo or something alluding to him at the end of the video, end of the episode. So yeah, looking forward to it, reviewing it soon. I don't know what that noise was, but anyway, yeah, let me know your thoughts below. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you all very soon. Take care, goodbye.